subject that's very important. It's actually a subject that often gets forgotten by people, and people forget why it's so important. The subject, let me share my screen here. There you go. It's called the proper edification, three-way call, and testimonial. So, because really, without it, your result will be where you are, or versus where you want to be, right? So that is your 2-minute story and the testimonial and edification. This is what this is what it should look like, the first screen. So our CEO, Remain Miss Garlou, made me realize the other day how important this is, because the people that master the skill are doing it properly. They have the result they want. So I wanted to share with you how to develop that skills, which will make it much simpler to build your business. So the first thing here, the proper edification. So what is edification? So edification is when you introduce your My5 or your upline or someone you know to your prospect. Whether you do it through a three-way call, in person, at a tour, anything like that. So why is it important? Well, it's third-party credibility. Is one of the most powerful tool any earner use to build a business. So why do you need it? Well, sometimes, your close friends, your family member, they know you very well. And because of that, you might be saying something, but they're not really listening. They're not really understanding or even paying attention because you're so close to them, right? But when you bring, for actually, that's for some strange reason, when we're close to someone and they don't necessarily accept what we're saying. But when it's coming from somebody else, now they're hearing it, they're paying attention, even if we're saying the same thing. So that's just a little bit of the psychology of human being, that we need to use these tools to get through somebody, right? So another reason why you need it, it's, let's say the other person is in network marketing or direct sell and has more success than you, or maybe they don't, but they think they do, because we all know that ego plays a big role. But then by introducing someone that to that prospect that thinks they have more success or is at the same level or even higher level than they are, is necessary, right? For example, when I'm speaking with a network marketing person with 30 years experience, I'm pretty sure I have more knowledge than they do, because the company teaches things that they don't teach in other company. But I also know that because they have been into the industry way longer than I have, I also know their ego will be there and they won't listen to me as somebody they can learn from, right? So by introducing them to someone they perceive at their level or higher level, they will now listen. Make sense? Because the main thing is who to introduce to your prospect to listen and understanding versus judge and evaluate, which often happen with close friends and family members. So this is why a third party credibility is important. You want your prospect to listen, to understand, and not to judge and evaluate, right? So now you need to introduce your third party to your prospect. Your prospect doesn't know who they're speaking. So if you say something like, John, this is Susie. Susie, this is John, and here you go. Now your prospect will think, something like, I'll talk to this person, but they don't know who they are, and I'm not sure why I should even listen to them. And that's what's going to go in your prospect's mind. So they will listen to evaluate and to judge, not to understand. But with a proper edification that shows your prospect some respect and your upline some respect as well. Not because your upline is better or anything like that. It's more doing the respect to get to your prospect to understand. And actually, a poor edification will actually kill your business. So better do it, the better your business will be, right? So to inform your prospect with advance with your call, so that your upline, inform your upline in advance that you're going to call them so they can actually schedule you in. That's a good key here. And the best time to do a three-way call is actually right after a tour, right? You can also tell your upline who's the person that they're going to talk to. Are they stay-home mom? Are they business owner? Do they have a job? Do they have kids? Where did you met them? Anything specific you want your upline to focus on. So if you know that somebody wants more time or more money, let your upline know, right? So your upline can actually work with that. Now, introduce your upline, and you also want to introduce your prospect. Oh, you might not be able to see this. Yeah, okay. So this is actually on your three-way call. So sometimes the person says a little bit about the upline and a lot about the prospect. I see that all the time. And now who's in charge? If you only say a little bit about your upline and a lot about the prospect's in charge. So you always want to say a little bit about the prospect and a lot about the upline. For example, Renee Liao, let's say, Renee, I want to introduce you to Jeff. Jeff worked as a chemical engineer and has been doing this for many years now, and he wants to have some residual income. So now Renee has something to lead with, right? So Renee will take the call saying something like, "Hi, Jeff, how long have you been in a chemical engineer?" And the conversation will begin. And Renee will know where to focus with the residual income. So you want to ask the prospect if, you want to ask your upline if you want them to share the story as well, right? So you can actually help your upline to know where to focus on. So like I said, let's say Jeff, I've seen the tour, but he doesn't really believe he has enough time to do this business. So now when I talk with Renee will know what to say to Jeff to actually help him to overcome his objection. So let me go through some proper edification here. For example, let's say I have Bob on the line. So Bob, I have Sherry. Sherry's on the phone with us. Sherry is an incredible individual. She's actually has a lot of experience in business. Sherry's run her own networking club called the Wealth Club, where she invites people to learn about wealth and residual and passive income. She's been doing that for many years, even before she started with Global Wealth Trade. She's always been an entrepreneur. She always found ways to find opportunity and make them successful. Now, one thing that I found in her, other than other opportunity, is that they didn't really last. So when she saw this, she saw it was something for long term. She knew that she could keep this business for the rest of her life. And not to worry about any other company. When she got started with Global Wealth Trade, she's been growing her business very quickly as soon as she started. She's been giving many awards by the company, such as Leadership Awards. She's also won the Shareholders of the Year award. She's won the top award from the company, which is the President's Cup. She's one of the CEO advisor group, which means she advised the CEO on anything that can help the company to grow, right? So she's a shareholder in the company. She's traveled around the world to grow her business, in Africa, United States, Canada, all around the world. She's really helped me and to grow my business. She's an amazing trainer. She's a mentor. I was new to this business, and she's been an incredible support. All the things why she's the number one female earner in the world, why she's making it there is really inspiring to me. She received residual income week after week because of this amazing opportunity. Now, Bob, I'd love to introduce you to Sherry, right? So that's a little bit different than Bob, this is Sherry. Sherry, this is Bob, right? Now, Bob actually wants to listen to Sherry, not to judge and evaluate. He wants to listen to her to understand how she got there, right? Because the more you can say something about your upline, the more you will have your prospect interested. You want to make them kind of feel like God, not in an ego way, but in a way that it makes your prospect realize, like, wow, I need to listen to this person, the accomplishment, the lifestyle, how hard they work. So they realize what's possible for them and what they need to do to make it happen. There's actually an old saying that I keep hearing over and over, that you want to make your upline blush, right? So when you've done a good edification, when your upline is feeling like is blushing. So again, that was really a great edification that I just did about Sherry Zhao. Then at that point, that's when you put yourself on mute and you listen, and while you're on mute, you can take notes, listen, to educate and learn as well, because one day that's going to be you're going to be the upline. So I've learned so much by showing tours and get on a 3-way call for a third party credibility. And then I would write down the questions and answer that my upline share and their story. That was my way of learning, because I learned so much. And it's incredible the growth I have because of that. Even today, when I do the 3-way call with my prospect to relate to someone else, I still learn. I love learning. And I always try to connect my prospect with somebody who has similar background, right? So for example, if the person's an IT programmer, I will definitely call Rene Liao, because he used to be in IT for TELUS. If it's a stay-at-home mom, then Jeanette Beaver is an amazing lady for that. If it's a business owner, Sherry Zhao is amazing. I mean, there's so many people. So I might already know the answer that my prospect is asking, but they might not relate with me, because of their background. Especially if your upline as what your prospect want, you always want to share, their story. A story is as powerful than a third party credibility. So that's for the edification. So use it. The more you use it, the better you'll be. And then next, I wanted to share tonight on the call is your 2-minute story. The 2-minute story is equally important as edification. It's important for you, it's important for your team, but it's really important for your prospect, because that's what, by you sharing your story, it will help the reason why you're building your business, and your prospect will be able to relate to that. It would actually build further like and trust with your prospect. Actually, I keep hearing more and more, like, people think they don't necessarily have a story, but what they might not have is a result. They might not be where they want to be, but everybody has a story. And maybe the result you want could be shared in your story, where you're going. So for example, let's say, I just got started with a Canadian designer brand. They pay people to wear and promote their products. And, I'm sick and tired to be told when I can have lunch, or when I can go on vacation, or when I want my freedom. So really, yeah, I want freedom. I want to take control of my life. I just learned about residual income and how it's possible to work once and get paid over and over. And that's what I want. I want to travel more. I want to spend more time with my family. I want to have the income to do what I want to do when I want to do it, because really, life is short and I want to enjoy as much as I can. And when I saw a company that created a system based on residual income so that I can do what I want, I knew that that would be something that I could do, and I wanted to share it with you. Maybe that you can take a look at it and see if that's something that can give you the life that you want to, right? So that's a story. That's a quick 2-minute story. Another thing you can add is, oh, sorry. Another thing you can add is when did you join? So why did you join? When did you join? Who introduced you to the company? The structure is very simple. You want to relate with your prospect. Let them know, what you don't want. So don't want, don't want, don't want, and then tell them what you want. What you want, what you want. Keep adding that. Then you can show the tour, you can edify your upline, your MiFi, and boom, you just increase your odds to have a new prospect and potentially a new member into your business. So another thing you can add into your story is any product testimonial. So if you made sales, you want to share your sales. If you help people get started in the business and how fast that happened, you want to share that. Your sales volume, how big is your business has grown. Anything that has some sort of result, any quick um, success stories, you want to share that. That's what people want to hear, right? That is the products or that is the business. So how much income have you earned, the size of your team, the total sales. So yeah, that is it. That is the what edification and 2-minute story is all about. And use it, and you will rock your business. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to open the line. If you have any questions, you can write them down in the question box. Or if you want to share something, you can just raise your hand and I can open the line for you to talk. Otherwise, this is what I had today is our GWT 2-minute story and testimonial and edification. So at this point, I don't see any questions. So this is what I have. I have one quick announcement this Wednesday. So in 2 days from now, Wednesday is our last get together before Christmas. We will be doing a tour at my house. So that's 1155 Reader Crescent, Northeast. If you have any guests, bring your guests around. If you have anybody or you want to just come up and see where we're going for 2015, come on over. We will keep doing tours. We've been quite busy doing one-on-one, two-on-one tours, and holidays is another amazing time to connect with people and to stay connected with our friends. So you can always ask myself or ask Keith or both of us to do tours with you, for you, 3-way call, either or. We'll be there, but this Wednesday is our last get together until the new year, and then in the new year we'll plan something. There's a lot of excitement coming up in the new year. I know there's some people who've been talking about putting a fashion show together, so I think we'll have a lot of fun doing this. But yeah, so come over Wednesday, 7 o'clock at my house, which is 1155 Reader Crescent, Northeast. Please email me back to confirm that you're coming so I know how many people to expect and if you're bringing a friend. So this is it for tonight. Thank you, Tim. Tim said thank you for the great training. I hope you guys learned something and you can implement it. Then go rock your business. Have some fun. And if you're looking for my edification, I can email it to you as well if you don't already have it. I know I use Sherry Zhao tonight because she's an incredible person with many other people in the company. And it's always easier to use somebody else than myself. So anyway, this is it. I will finish the call this way. I'm going to wish you a great evening, morning, or afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Have a good night.